2026 is a very weird year for a gravel rider because basically you've got now two choices. You can get a gravel bike, or you could get a gravel bike, which is a mountain bike kind of crossover. A lot of pro racers have actually started using some sort of crossover like this, but the situation right now is about as clear as mud. So the Liams thought we'd get together, combine off-road and road.cc to bring you some clarity on the situation.
As you can see, we've got a proper gravel bike, and this is something that I created to kind of resemble a gravel bike. So we're going to ride both, put them both to the test, see what we think's better where, talk about the prices as well. Right, so this is a Surly Sorceress. It started life as a proper trail hardtail mountain bike with kind of an air of versatility. Up front, we've got a 140mm travel fork. We've got some proper slick tyres and 29-inch wheels. Other Liam, what have you got?
What we have here is a Canyon Grizzle in the kind of adventure spec. So it's got quite a weird front end. Not sure I love the bar on this, but we've got 40mm of travel from the Canyon x DT Swiss fork, and then we've got some mountain bike componentry on the rear end. You'll find a SRAM mountain bike exo rear derailleur, but it's all very nice and it's all designed to be as gnarly as gravel gets. Do you want to get out of the hedge and we'll go and test them? Come on.
Oh. Okay, so, ow!
Dropping in on this one. Ow! Oh, nature.
Obviously this just is not a gravel bike, but I've kind of made it to be so.
This bike is as adventure-y of a gravel bike as I've ever had, and yet you still, on these routes and stuff, you just feel every one of them.
That length from the longer wheelbase brings loads of stability.
Down here on this fast stuff, I don't exactly feel out of control. It's just under heavy braking that it starts to feel it's just a bit slippery.
Small 32 tooth chainring at the front gives me like a wide spread of gears, but when it comes to climbing, it's nice and easy.
And then out onto this open plain, we're gonna get on Tim's wheel. What's up, him? Tadej Pogacar! Does get just a little bit skittish over those bumpy stuff, but when you get into this, hop it over. It's just so nice to ride on. Oh, I'm gonna crash. Shall we swap bikes?
Would you like me to unlock the suspension for you?
I would like the suspension. I'd like all of the suspension.
That's all of the suspension.
Thank you.
Swap. Okay, so the actual gravel bike feels so different. The other Liam is a little bit smaller than I am, so this is a medium bike, I believe.
This is so wide. I don't think I've seen a bar this wide for, well, years. Also, this stem is tiny, so the brakes don't work. Liam, the brakes don't work.
But having to get my weight right back there is quite difficult because there's a massive saddle in the way. I'm not having children anymore. Oh,
oh my God, though. This is so much more composed. The extra length and the head angle being so much slacker on this means that these things I just kind of roll over. Although I'm trying to talk and ride, and I'm trying to get used to this new front end. Ooh.
Yeah, so skinny tyres, a little bit less traction, just a little bit.
The extra wheelbase, the extra tyre size, the extra travel in the suspension, probably not using much more of it, no. But it just means that you don't get buckarooed around, especially over those routes. And the little drops, because you're so much further back on the bike, it just feels like you just roll off. Yeah. It's great. So these tyres probably don't have much more tread. Oh, hello, my God, he's gone.
And let me tell you, it's a lot easier to pedal around, it's so much more responsive. And generally that top speed is loads higher.
Oh, this is so grippy. See the way I just catch up to Liam in the corners there.
But here, I'm instantly going quicker with less effort.
I can see the advantage of having such a small stem on a bike like this, especially on the techie stuff, because the immediacy of the handling is really, really nice. Good fun, that. Very good fun. Not as fast on here. Can you take us through the kind of geometry differences?
Yeah, sure. So obviously these are two completely different bikes, so they're built for two completely different riding styles. So to start with a mountain bike, you've got a long reach, you've got a slacker head tube, you might even have a lower bottom bracket, but you have a longer wheelbase, which does many things to the stability. Moving on to the gravel bike, things get a lot smaller. That's for many reasons. You want more agility. It's built for flat terrain. It's built for going fast and lots of corners and stuff like that. But with that, everything's a lot shorter. So you've got a shorter reach, you've got a shorter wheelbase, you'll have a steeper head tube. But with the seat tubes, things are pretty similar. But yeah, very different bikes for two very different applications.
Mellow, nice, confidence inspiring, yeah. Absolute ragged edge of everything. No, this is still going to be confidence inspiring, yeah, for, but slightly tamer terrain. But then this is quite an adventurous gravel bike, but we've still got only 40 millimeters of, yeah, travel, whereas you have 140, like, yes, 100 millimeters more. So what does that actually do? What's the difference there?
So on this bike, I'm locking it out, because when you hit a bump and you have this much travel, your dynamic geometry changes. So when you're riding, the bike kind of changes its shape.
It all goes forward.
All goes forwards. But there are situations where I have ridden it open and it just gives me a lot more comfort at the front.
Yep.
There's still some good support, but it just soaks up larger bumps more capably. But with a 40mm travel fork, you're not going to dive through that suspension anywhere nearly as freely as you could with this one. So you'll retain your dynamic geometry and it still ride really nice.
Suspension. Cockpit, mine is carbon. I think yours is
alloy.
Keeping it real for the people. Yeah. Yours is a lot wider.
Yeah, tons wider.
Tons wider. And then we also have differences in the seat post. Carbon, not a dropper.
Yeah.
Alloy, dropper.
Definitely a dropper. It's electric as well. Got a bit of squish built in if you drop it, so it can be more comfortable if you want it to be. 200mm drop though. Another big difference between these two bikes are tyres, wheels and tyre clearances. So what's, yep, going on with your bike there?
These have, well, 27mm internal, which is good, but it's definitely set up for a gravel tyre around a 40, 45. Maybe you want to push that to a 50mm tyre.
Yeah. So with my wheel set, it's a carbon zip wheel set, 30mm internal width, which is basically standard for mountain bikes now. But when building up this bike to be a bit more gravelly, I really looked at what top level gravel riders were riding on. Hence why I've gone for these like really slick tyres. But these are 2.4 inch wide, so I've got more comfort just through the sheer squish that's there. But then I've got like better protected casings as well, because this is a Maxxis EXO casing, which balances lightweight with protection.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a 29 inch wheel, which isn't too far from 700C, is it really?
I will happily, as a road and gravel rider, ride on the tarmac roads to get to some of these gravel trails, and then I'll be quite happy going around these nice tame gravel trails, because on this bike that still feels, yeah, like fun. One area where I was wishing a crash upon you, and it's in the braking area. These SRAM Force levers are designed to work with the calipers that come with them. They are beautiful.
They are.
Yours, not.
So these brakes aren't designed to work. And if you go to SRAM's website, they have a chart and they say these combinations will work, they'll, yeah, be in green boxes. These combinations might work being yellow, and then these ones won't, yeah, be red. These are in the yellow combination. I did have to do a very small modification to make them work.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have the feel because these levers aren't designed to push 4 calipers.
If you've seen a lot of tech here, a lot of carbon, a lot, yeah, of nice things, yeah, it's expensive. 5,000 something pounds for this. And if you want the kind of adventure carbon gravel bike with suspension, there's not a lot less that you can pay, because really a lot of the price is locked up in the fork.
This, I think, is about £2 give or take. But then I have changed a bunch of things over, and I didn't really take financials into consideration when I did that. So this is a carbon zip wheel, so that's going to cost like a couple grand, isn't it? The dropper post is like 500 quid. Tyres, let's just say 180 for both.
Yeah.
I mean, doing this to a mountain bike is still not a cheap thing. I had to change the gears as well to the XS stuff, and that's crazy money. But you can make a mountain bike gravelly and faster just by changing the tyres, so I did push this quite hard.
And I think really we should wrap up by deciding which bike are you gonna have? Which would you prefer?
Ooh. I'd have the actual gravel bike.
Okay.
Because it does gravel really well.
Yeah.
Where things flatten and where things get a bit climby, you've got less weight. You've got fast rolling tyres, even faster than these, I'd say. And you've got the gearing to go quicker, easier. I would change some things about that bike. I'm not a fan of the bar. It's a bit too narrow for me. I'll put a dropper post on it.
You're just building that again.
Yeah.
See, now I would have neither of these bikes.
Really?
Yeah, I'd either have a cross-country mountain bike,
Fair.
hardtail, a real nice lightweight kind of thing.
I get you.
Because that's what a lot of our stuff round here suits.
Yeah.
A lot of this is fun for that. Or I'd have a gravel bike. I just wouldn't have this one right now. The front end isn't for me, this bar. That's kind of beside the point. It's the suspension that does it for me. That, it offers loads in terms of the riding, but it kicks up the price way, way, way too much. And I think when the industry brings the prices of the suspension forks for gravel down to just a reasonable level, not £1,000 and something pounds, then yeah, I think a suspension gravel bike would be something I'd actually be interested in. Well, thank you, Liam, for coming to the forest to hang out and ride bikes and stuff. Are you going to throw to a video?
Yeah, so I obviously built this up myself. I made a video about it. It's going to go over on road.cc. So if you want to watch me struggle to put this thing together and then tell you how it actually rides, head over to our YouTube channel and have a look.
And then if you want to watch me pit this against the kind of early 2000s kind of gravel bike, they were cyclocross and touring bikes back then. People were riding gravel. That video is going to be floating around on the screen now.